Hello Scrappy friends, welcome back to our third video in our winter edition of Keeping Scrapbooking Simple, where we are taking the Flurry of Fun Creative Memories winter collection and mixing it together with some wood grain paper and change this into a winter and wood grain series. So I hope that you're enjoying the first two videos in the series. And today I have another simple layout for us to do. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to kind of repeat page designs that we've used in the two previous videos. Now I have this paper right here. I love it and I want to try and get this used. These papers with the scenery sometimes are a little harder to use. Thought I want to bring it in our strips and blocks series because it's definitely a nice big strip. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put it over here to the left-hand side because putting it off here to the left-hand side kind of like begins our page and our story. So we'll put it there and see if it stays there. And then next I'm going to bring in the wood grain and once again some of this beautiful red paper. This is another thing I have been bringing into each of the layouts in this collection because I just love a little pop of this red color and it's just helping to bring my layouts to life. So what I'm thinking with the red is just like we did before, bring it in and have a little strip hanging off to the side. And I don't think I have a scrap big enough, so I'll have to cut into this piece. And I'll probably just do, let's see, this blue piece here is about 7 inches. So I'm thinking maybe just 1 inch of the red. Then I want to do something we did in the first layout with this wood grain, and that's to bring it in right here. And this time I'll do something like this where I have 4 inches on one side and then on the other side. So I'll cut it. And then on the other side, I'll have 8 inches and I'm going to bring it down a bit. So I'm going to trim off about 2 inches, bring it down, cut it at the 4-inch mark, 4 on one side, 8 on the other. Let me get that set up and I'll show you what I mean. So here's the paper trimmed down. I kept the size of scrap that I had for this beautiful blue wintry scene. This strip here was 1 inch. And I actually had a scrap and you can't even tell I had to weld it right there. And so I was able to use my scrap and not cut into my full sheet. So that was awesome. And then here's the wood grain. So I did what I was explaining. I took off 2 inches and then I cut this down to a 10 by 4 and then an 8 by 10 over here. So pretty much used the whole sheet. That's very similar to what we did in the first layout where we put the whole sheet down and cut it. Put some on the left-hand side and some on the right-hand side, but just a little bit modified. Okay, so let's talk about photos. So I don't want to cover up my beautiful scene down here, but I do have a lot of blue up here. So I'm thinking possibly one photo just like that. Then I want to put some photos right here. So I'm thinking a couple 3.5-inch square photos right there. So I'm only going to get a few photos over here because I am taking up a big area with my beautiful printed paper. But I really want to do that because I don't do that very often and I think that that's going to look spectacular. Okay, so over here I have some room for more photos and I can incorporate some bigger photos here. So I probably would do 2 4x6 photos there. And we still have this area where we could maybe bring in a couple 4x4s or even some smaller photos, but I still need to put my journaling somewhere, so I probably will be removing this photo right here. That's going to be my photo placement. This one's not going to have a lot of photos, like I said, because that paper, but that happens. Sometimes we have themes where we have less photos, we didn't take quite as many, or we just don't want to put that many on the page. And so this layout is perfect for that. Now, if you're going to use something else over here besides this decorative trees, then I would maybe change that up a little bit. So let's talk about our title and journaling. You see how I like to go through my steps That way I'm creating my pages fast and efficiently. I think I'm gonna come over here and take this photo out. And I rarely would do that because that's gonna put even less photos on my overall 2-page layout, but that's okay because I found this card and I just thought that that looked so perfect up there, and I think I'm gonna like that better than having a photo there. And then right here, I am kind of thinking of another photo layout possibility. Let me slide this one down and we can bring in my favorite size, the 3.5 by 5 inch, and I think that's perfect. So we have our title, and now let's work on that journaling spot, which I think I'm gonna go ahead and take this photo out so I can use it as a journaling mat. And so I have this card here. It's from the collection. It's just the gray one. And I thought that way I can bring in some of the gray from the left-hand side over here to the right-hand side. Not sure if I'm going to lay it on top like that or possibly tuck it under like this. This way I could kind of embellish up and around. So let's see. I think I'll keep it on top for now, but may come back and change my mind. So I'm back here looking at these and trying to decide, do I want to put any photo mats on any of these? Right now I'm not seeing any place, but I am seeing this big gap because whether I push my photos up or separate them, I have a gap somewhere. And I think I'm going to pull that down and try and bring in a piece of scrap paper. So I can trim this down. And I just took off a little piece. But I want to bring this striped paper in. I had some other scraps too I might try out. I have more gray. But I think the stripe really kind of pops out the colors from everything I have over here. The blues, the grays, the red. I could add this little piece here and it looks like it belongs perfectly in there. This is coming along super quick and I am actually ready to do some embellishing. So I have this leftover border sticker. So I'm thinking, let's see, I'm kind of thinking I can put it up here to kind of give my titling area a little bit of a shelf and a distinction between my title and those beautiful trees. That's one place I'm thinking about it. And then I would have a few left over to kind of tuck into an embellishment cluster somewhere else just to tie it all in. I'm gonna take off 4 and it's gonna go right here. There we go. Oh, that's kind of cute. Just gives a little bit more of a finished look up there. So where am I going to embellish? I went ahead and cut out 3 circles on my die cut machine using some nesting circles. They're super cute. They have a little bit of stitching on it and I use these ones quite often, and I cut one in red, in this cool gray, and then in blue because this is the colors of our collection, and I'm going to tuck them around my layout. So for example, I'll take the gray one and I'm going to come right over here, kind of tuck it in a little bit like that. I don't want to cover up my photo too much, so I can even trim it down this a little bit. Let's try that. Let's just do a little bit like that and see if we like it. We can come out a little bit more. Now I'll take my blue one and come over here somewhere. Let's go ahead and move our journaling box down a little bit, photo up, and we'll tuck the blue one in over here. Yeah, let me try going back to my idea of tucking this in, and then I can tuck the circle in behind it like that. I like that. And bring our photo down. I'm going to change the size of this photo and bring in a 3.5 inch photo instead. There we go. And you know what? I actually think I might put that at an angle, be a little playful with it. And then the red one, I'm going to bring in up here at the top. And I have a lot of room, so I think I'll come over here a little closer to the edge just to kind of get that triangle. Okay, and that's how I'm going to start my clusters. Do something a little bit different, bring in the base, and then bring in all those other colors as well. Now it's just a matter of looking at what I have left in this collection and trying to put some of the elements on here. So for example, I have this cute sticker. I wanted to get this used in this series, And so I think I'm going to put it up here. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking at that I have a red circle, and then I'm bringing in a blue element. Down here I have a gray circle, so maybe I want to bring, and I already have a lot of blue, so maybe I want to bring in some red and do something like that. Over here, same thing, we can bring in some more elements, and I have this one came, I cut this one on my Cricut from the digital art kit. You see me bring in a lot of those, and I'm thinking I want to do something over here. So I could either put it on top or tuck it under. If I tuck it under, I'm going to miss the word snow, and it says you're never too old to play in the snow. So I kind of do want that on top, or I could pull up the circle a little bit. Nope, I still want it on top. I want to bring in my little snowflakes here and decide how I'm going to do that. Kind of thinking over here, I'm going to cut them, and I'm going to cut it into a section of 3 and maybe put them right here. Save the other one, and I'm probably going to put it probably up here, but let me put that aside right there so I could come back to that because I'm not quite ready. That's going to be more of a finishing touch because it's a small little item. Over here, I had cut these little snowmen from my Snow Pals punch. I had a whole video where I did embellishments with this punch, and I'll link that at the end of this video because it's kind of fun. So I had this one left over, haven't used it yet. I think that would be fun to kind of be next to where it says you're never too old to play in the snow. And it also has a little red heart, which is perfect, brings in that little pop of red. I have a couple more snowflakes here, and I feel like I have a lot of white on this page, so I'm gonna bring that back over here. Maybe it's going to go on top like this, and then the little one will be trailing up like that. One more sticker I wanted to bring in, this cute one that says low temps. I think that's super cute. I'm going to bring down my photos a little. There, I'm going to slide my photo under there, so I'll make sure that all that sticky has been removed so the photo can slide right under. And then I went into my stash and I wanted to look for some things that I can add to this. And then wouldn't you know it, I found these cute little wintry enamel pieces, and look at that, they have wood grain on them. So I thought I need to bring these in right now because I'll probably never use them if I don't do it right now. So I thought this one says Snow Much Fun. And I think I'm going to go up here and just kind of start playing with the circles that I have up here. And maybe just tuck that one in ever so slightly, maybe underneath the blue one. And then this one that says Let It Snow, I'm going to come right over here. I think it's going to fit perfect right in there. And that was nice. I needed one more thing to come to kind of bring a little bit into each embellishment area. And on that same sticker sheet, it had this little brown snowflake. And I thought, perfect, that's gonna definitely come in here. 3 little snowflakes right there. Perfect. I think what I'm gonna do is gonna pause right here, get all of these embellishments adhered down and the little loose paper here. Come back, and I have just a few little finishing touches, and we're gonna wrap this series up. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. But while I'm away, you know what I'm gonna ask. Please take the opportunity to click that like button. I really love it when you do it. It lets me know that you are enjoying these Keeping It Simple series and keeps me motivated to keep creating them. So let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Here's the layout so far. Everything is adhered down. I decided to go with just one snowflake over here. Other than that, everything should be the same as when we left it. So I'm ready to come back in with this and do just a few minor finishing touches. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to start with the little one I put aside from these, and I think, I don't know, it can either come over here, maybe tucked in behind there, or over here, gently right there for a minute, and we're going to come back with a couple other things and see if that's where we want to keep it. Okay, so what do I have for my finishing touches? I have 3 little stickers, snowflake stickers from the sticker sheet, And I think I'm just going to sprinkle one in each area. So let's see, tuck them in maybe underneath right there and up here. Let's see, maybe off to the side, and then over on this side, I'm thinking maybe if I can tuck it in right there between those two items. Perfect. Then I have some of those little stars that we had before. I have the 2 shades of blue, and I think I'm going to bring those right in over here. Give this a little bit more height. And then up here, I do have some more stars to bring in, but I also have this little tiny banner. So what I do is whenever I cut out something on my die cut machine, if there's a little strip or a piece left over on that same cardstock, I might cut out something else to kind of bring it in to the layout and just kind of carry that color throughout. So this is just a little banner that has that little bit of stitching on it. And I just want to kind of tuck it in like that underneath this wooden piece. And I think what I'm going to do is change these around and put the lighter blue there and then the darker blue over on the other side. There, minor touches, but that's why I call them finishing touches. Okay, now back to our stars. And I think I'm going to go off over there. So I have 2 more stars that I want to use up, and I think I'm going to bring them right over here, and I'm actually going to put that on the red paper like that, just to kind of tie in all of the stars. And there we go. That is our 3rd layout in our Keeping It Simple series, Winter and Woodgrain edition. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a really quick one. So I think what I really want to drive home about this series is that we can take simple page cuts and then simple page designs and create beautiful pages very easily and quickly. And we're just getting pages done in our album. So I appreciate you watching my series. I hope that you enjoyed it. Until next time, take care, everybody. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.